It's cool that my grandmother, Karen Ann McDonald, is posting stuff that's interesting me to reflect on it because of um, teachers, spirits or teachers, living spirit that is in that light, which is what love is a teacher. Mothers know that, fathers know that, right? So I just saw a little post up there that she put up about purebloods are now becoming a commodity, right? In other words, if you're a female, they want the eggs, right? The female mitochondria side. And then you have the male sperm, right? So if you want to think of this as codes, it's related to data, which are the codes that are held within the chromosomes, right? And then I can remember that she was having a discussion with others about particular bloodlines, right? Okay. So I'm pretty well versed on this subject, right? Because I know that I can jump into anything. So bloodline works a little differently for my energy. And the reason that that's so is that I'll throw a few things out. Okay. Let's say that I'm the one, the grand creator, for example, right? And I want to create as many different versions of me that I can experience, which split off, right? Which are simply different versions. Because you represent eternal, pure living light, as pure as it gets. So you know that your energy is running through everything. Remember I mentioned one time, you want to be a tree for a day? What bloodline's running through that tree? It's a seed. The information is in the seed packet. So you can be the same living love energy that's flowing through me, is flowing through the tree, so that's a relative. That's another aspect of the same energy that I am, that it's experiencing through me, what it is through our energy, which is what love is. So for me, love is in everything, which means I'm in everything. If I'm the one, I'm in everything. Everything I'm giving love to. Right? So let's say, for instance, that you're a soul, right? And another spirit, a goddess, came up and said, listen, I'm going to try out a new batch in my mother's garden, a lab. You want to jump into it and take it for a test run? Well, really, what bloodline is it? It's AB+. Oh, whoa, that's an Arcturian. Yeah, you want to go be an Arcturian and an avatar? You want to go run that avatar, that bloodline? You'll come through that portal. Soul links, spirit, come through the flash drive, right? Bang. There you are. There I am. So what happens is that now all of a sudden I'm taking it for a test drive. You want to improve upon the version? How does that work? By the journey that you take, and you leave a record. So that means another AB positive is going to leave her record of what she did with that avatar. That becomes her record. Okay, of the roadmap she took in order to experience everything that she experienced, that is her record of her soul's journey. It's not the same as mine. Okay, because I'm on a different mission than she is. So everything that she experienced is not going to be the same as I experience, and that's called diversity of experiences, from which we all learn through each other to do what? Improve upon the last version of the universe, which means we're going in the right direction so our children have a future by the versions that we create, because we're creative artists, we're original artists, right? So in other words, we're not copycats. They broke the mold when we came in, right? That's a spirit. That's a living spirit that is in that light that goes on forever, because that spirit is a teacher, which is eternal love. That's the spirit that is the teacher. So the teacher is taking the soul for a ride. Let's go. Right? That's why I know, just when I look back on my timeline, I don't even remember most of it, because I don't want to remember most of it. So do I have control over that? Of course. It's my avatar. I jumped into it, right? I'm using this equipment to communicate with you what it is that I am, which is what love is. It goes on forever. 3. 1, 1, 1. Right? Magnetic 0 ohms. H2 plus 1 is 3. Right? I was born on 1, 1, 1. 0. 0. Right? 0 out the clocks. There is no clocks. There's only what love is. That's living in the now. Right? Absolutely. Otherwise, you're re-experiencing something you already created to experience. Why don't you create something new? out of what love is. Right? Now you just created another love experience. Love goes on forever. So everything that you're experiencing is what love is that goes on forever. Now you're on fire to create, right? So everything's different from the last. So you're not going to be the same as anybody else. So I don't expect for them to experience everything I experience, because otherwise it'd be boring if you were copying the same thing I'm experiencing. Now you're just a copy of what I am. See? That's not an original artist. That's a copycat. That's a copy machine. That's an AI that does that. Okay? A clone, a copycat, a 3D printer, right? Put the data in there, punch it out. Here it is, a 3D printer. Just like a 3D shredder, right? Oracle razor, get rid of the information. Now you see it, now you don't. So that's the mouse game that they play by being able to jump around into all their different costumes. Change their names, change your brand, change your corporation, change the numbers around. Right? G, like G Masons, Masons. Oh man. So yeah, so it's the differences. The differences that we thrive on. So if you experienced that you knew you were different from everybody else in the class, did you thrive on that, knowing that you were that different? Nobody's like you, right? You were different. I know that when I was a child growing up, that's the first thing that gets noticed. Hey, we got an outlier here, which basically means is I don't think we can program your child. I don't think your child wants to run our programs. He's running his own stuff. He's doing what he wants to do. He's not paying attention to what we're doing over here. He's off doing his own thing. That's a journey. That's a soul's journey. The spirit that is with that child's soul is on a journey. That spirit is with that soul. That soul is being led by that spirit to learn what we're supposed to learn through the experiences that we have, that we learn from. Then we leave that record for other students to learn from what we experience through us. Now we learn through each other all the journeys that we've taken. Right? So they're not going to be the same. See? So that's why, for example, if I passed on my seed, it's not going to be the same seed. The information of the experience that is represented by the consciousness, the soul consciousness that was running the equipment, is not going to be the same record. Okay? Because we can graph the differences through all the different experiences that were experienced by the student that was learning what it was through its mirror, everything that its mirror that is experiencing. Is not going to be the same as another soul in a AB positive avatar. And the evidence of that is the fact that all I have to do is think about a couple of people that I've met, and I'll just give you a few examples. Bless their heart. What was his name? The guy that was running around with Patty Broussard? Dean, that's right. And my grandmother's telling me, well, you know, and I'll just put it this way. I don't want to put this on the public because I enjoyed his company, okay? And he's another relative in the universe. So I give him the same love that I experienced being what I am, which is the same energy. But Dean apparently has had some troubles of his own, and I've had troubles of our own. I don't know anybody that hasn't I've met throughout my life, right? But what I do know is this. His experiences and what he's experiences are not the same as mine, okay? Even though he says that he's AB positive bloodline, which is an Arcturian. I met another one that said she was AB positive. She was working in the math, encryption, decryption codes, having something to do, I guess, with some admiral who worked in naval intelligence, right? What they call cryptography, code talkers, codes that can't be cracked, software that can't be hacked. You know, and then you get into all the codes and what it means to be a pure blood, if you will. It simply means, like, for me, because the way that you have all have ever watched my videos, it's all about purifying your spirit, because water, or mostly water is the blood of the planet. Okay? So when that spirit, which is in that water, is purified, you're running hot. So you got to have a way to cool down that much heat. Because that's what happens when I had a full phosphorus ignition, which is lighting yourself on fire, because that is the heat. That's the fire that delivers the seed data from a male. Okay. So when you have a male who's lit himself on fire, then you can imagine a full phosphorus ignition, the data that is represented by my operating system. Because when I was done after I had that, it's like euphemistically saying I just punched my time card in. You know, like when you go to work and you log in, log out. Log into the system, log out of the system. Log scales, log in, log out. Or log on, log out. Right? So the way that it's easy for me is because I can't identify me. For example, when I go to make a comment, hey, you got to log in, buddy. So you realize you're not logged in yet. So you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. You're just like breathing, gate speed. Just like I mentioned to my grandmother, something that I know that works. When I go out here, because of the Big Island, when it's sunny and the sun comes up, you're on the largest shield volcano. Okay? So what I do is I go out with my bare feet. I ground my feet right to the rock. I look directly up at the sun with my soul's eyes, and my soul's eyes now begin to bring the sun into full view. Now the sun and I have a communication pathway. Now my eyes, my soul is breathing with that sun. Now I'm experiencing the pink getting larger. The rings are now expanding towards me. Yeah. So it's experiencing the pink in my heart, which is a pink diamond rose. Okay? Now that sun is reflecting back with its mirror what it is that I am. We're mirroring this together. We're sharing the rhythm and the gate speed of breathing in, breathing out, compression and expansion, compression and expansion. Yeah, baby, I'm breathing with you. That's the sun. Now you got a relationship with the sun. It knows you're a magnet. It's a magnet, so you're in rhythm. You're in rhythm with another magnet. You're breathing with another magnet. Okay? You'd be surprised what that does when it comes to clearing codes out of your RAM. Yeah. See? And of course, the other part of that, when I mentioned, when I punched my time card and I had that, it's like a recalibration, right? It's like, I'm done. I just punched my ticket. I'm done. So that's sort of like saying, okay, what it is I came here to do, I realized if you wanted to think of it as what it is you wanted to do while you were here, because I realized I wrote my own timeline. It's like, okay, I'm done. I just punched my ticket. Punching your ticket. Hey, that's your gate key. That's your pass key. You're done. Okay. So I realized, hey, all the data, now it's all on record, right? So that's why I said to myself when that happened, hey, now we're on the gravy train. Just hang out and see what happens next. That's when I realized about not quite a year later, when all of a sudden I realized I'm vibrating so fast, it was ridiculous. I'm leaving the physical body. My God, I'm leaving. Right? Because the energy was just... So right down here at Lapahoy, there's a few places that you can do that. It's called tapping in, right? And so I thought, slow myself down. I'm not ready to go yet. No. Remember when I said, I will experience it. I will know how successful we are here when I experience it. So I wanted to stay so I could experience that. That's why I stayed. And I stay because of all of you, that I love all of you. Okay? That's the truth of it. I'm one of those souls that doesn't leave a soul on a spiritual battlefield. Not once, not ever. Which essentially means we get all our children on board. So that's why the energies coming in here had to be monitored, and they had to be incremental. Because I know I was experiencing the difference, what I know up there and what I know down here, because the amount of voltage and how hot I was experiencing in my lumbar spine. Oh, man. That's the truth of it. So you might want to say, well, hey, it's like you think of your blood or your sperm as, well, how much fire's in that sperm, man? How much fire's in that egg? How much fire was in the soul of that female? How much love does she have in her heart? Well, go look at her record. Ask her. Right? Same thing would be with any male. It doesn't matter who, male or female, what race you are, what seeded race you are, how much fire you got in that soul, and how much light you're giving away. I mean, it would seem to me that it would stand to reason that if you wanted to Go hang out with somebody, go create a universe together that you're free to go experience because you're the energy that you're doing it with. Isn't that a free spirit? Well, when your energy is free, which means your spirit is free and your soul is with that spirit, you're integrated with that spirit and you're free, that means there isn't anything feeding on your energy. Now you know you're free. Wow, I'm really free, aren't I? Yeah. Because everywhere that you go, you're experiencing what love is, which means you're loved everywhere you go, which means that's the energy you're experiencing wherever you go. So you realize, hey, I don't need to use my energy to protect myself, and I don't need to use my energy to build a gun or a weapon and with to do that either. Gee, there are places like that in the universe to experience that? Yeah, we're the ones that created that. You think? No, it's what we know. It's what you know through your heart and soul. That's the importance of knowing that, right? Otherwise, the next thing you know, your memory's going wipe and you're running some other operating system and you don't remember who you really are. So now we're back to, well, who are you? What happened to you? Are you not experiencing what love is? What happened to you? You know that love is what grows a flower, so you know that love is energy that grows things, grows seeds. Every seed grower knows that. So now we're into seeded races. What grows a seeded race? Now you're in acceleration speeds. Now we're into acceleration speeds of learning. How fast are they learning in their mirror? How to experience more of what the universe was created out of. Right? So that's learning speed, which is torque differential speed between an inverter and a converter. You know, the difference between service to self and love and service to others. If you're in love and service to others, you're growing and learning faster than everybody else is, huh? And that's called a learning curve. They even use the learning curve in their own classrooms. So they reward you for what they put in your memory, right? But they don't teach you the same things that spirits that are living light, which is what love is. A mother's love is a teacher. Same thing with a father's love.